but that definitely escalated quickly. Well, just before you call it a break from the pacing, it's finally the time for the main event. It's not the night before the Culture Festival that is important, it's the dawn that will determine the fate for the rest of the day. With the series of tidbits of Deku's new training and students preparing for the performance, it's finally time for Gento to make his stage. Or perhaps not, as the series gets a color page next week, which would explain the plot progress. Well, not really, just a coincidence. The plot thickens, and the festival all lies on one boy to stop a villain. The night before the festival is more about the last practice of Class 1A for the performance. Like previous chapter, it's another point of feeling bad for when the day doesn't go their way because of a gentleman who wants to make a name for himself. Mina's working hard to have the dance choreographed precisely, hence raising her voice to criticize Deku's dance step. The fact they are up at night past their curfew shows they are really engaged and excited for the big day. Jiro also doesn't feel much like her previous self, prevented to get involved with the act, let alone the center stage. It got everyone restless and they are hyped for their moment to shine. At least it got everyone involved in a different fashion, so it's fine. Of course, Deku has more work to be done and that isn't just for the festival, which does stand out differently as he is the only god that is progressing in the combat field. The night is closing in and everyone is set for tomorrow. What could go wrong? It's abundantly clear that a couple of chapters ago was Kohi's way to draw sympathy and prepare to feel sorry when someone crashes the big day. Did it make me feel worried about it? More or less. It did drag a bit and I only care about the school's outcome as in safety and Eri because she hasn't completely developed yet. My feeling could change during the festival, so I won't judge until the arc is over. Arguably, the only relevant aspect is Deku progressing in his new technique for far-range attack. It's good to see Hasame managing to build gloves for Deku before the opening act. She sure got dirty from working though, but hey, if it pays off, it's all good. Judging by the ending of this chapter, it would suggest that the gloves are made for one time only and presumably forces Deku to equip nothing to defeat Gento. I'm only predicting of course, but the setup seems pretty suggestive. I still wonder if Hasame's logic of sleeping 3 nights will fix the problem because hell, I still wonder if sleeping a day would allow you to stay up for a day. Anyway, it's good to know that Deku can equip it and helps him to perform the new technique easier. Leave it to Hasame to get the job done. If only I could say the same for others. It doesn't show if Deku can perform it well with it, as it skips the time to reach closer to the opening act. It may be reserved for the next chapter as it is probably made for a surprise for us audience. Either way, I am interested to see how it plays out, though fingers crossed to avoid the most obvious. The real highlight is after those 2 segments because it's where the plot thickens with Deku roaming around and bumping to none other than Gento. Wow, this is like what, the 5th time Deku bumps to a villain? It might be more for all I know. It's a funny trend that Koei should acknowledge it and make fun of it. It's a bit redundant for him to set up the enemy target for the protagonist this way. That said, this pretty much determined that Deku and Gento are destined to fight. I will comment more on that later. It plays a suspenseful vibe with Deku drawing a conclusion of the stranger's identity. I noticed that suspense comes with the first encounter as well. Admittedly, it's amusing to watch Gento slowly gets identified, and it's all because of the legendary golden tips. I still need to get one. After all, it was the reason that blows his cover, since it's amazing for a young boy to know about it. He tried to cover his face, but because it's Deku, it's too late to hide now. See, what I told you, YouTube is no good. Deku got the idea of that Gento is going to sabotage the big day, so he drops his shopping items and get ready to engage in combat. Why does he call the police? It must be shown in logic. I mean, they could help out before the whole day goes to even worse than already going on. So it's odd unless it later acknowledged the flaw for story purposes. That said, Deku has everyone's hard work in his mind because he's the only one that could prevent Gento from sabotaging it. I get the feeling Gento wants to record this to say that the festival is no longer safe by defeating Deku. Earlier than expected, the fight has begun. I'm intrigued to see how this will play out, though I am a bit surprised for fans to comment that Deku going against Gento shouldn't happen as they've seen enough of Deku. Well, the question is, who do you expect Gento to face? Virtually no one has any connection or even self-problem to overcome like the battle against Stain. Gento is an obstacle to say, we have to get rid of him before our day is ruined. Deku barely draws a connection, so he's the only guy you have. Maybe someone will get involved, but in a minimum level, but it's still early, so who really knows? I guess that's the challenging part to spread out. That all said, will Deku win this battle? I would say no, but he will win later on. My prediction is that he will show his new move or better combat with those gloves, only for Gento to finally show his quirk and win. Deku will be out cold to miss his performance with the class, and his gloves will probably be removed. He will make up later as the festival is already in crisis, and he will finish the job by more or less mastering his skills without the gloves. I got an odd feeling that I will get majority of them right. It's not bad, but will play very safe and predictable for better or worse. I certainly love to be surprised with something that I cannot predict, let alone the action being stellar. It would be highly questionable if Gento loses here. I don't want to be part of the discussion board for that. It was a good, enjoyable chapter that ends the preparation and begins with the festival in danger. It was good to see more of the class and the amusing parts during the night. Whether all would pay off well is up to the execution. The clash between Gento and Deku is familiar but amusing with their funny way to expose the suspect. The art is good, and we are in luck to see very solid art for the action set piece next time. It won't be long now before all smiles will go upside down. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. You know, Deku beating Gento will be considered a surprise, a big surprise to be honest. But I think it's a surprise that is best to be avoided and go with the flow of Gento actually ruining the festival, unless there is something else in mind. I do like when things are going differently, but sometimes you can't go too different in order to say, look at that. Series is going so different, that's why it's so unique. When it is not true, sometimes predictable is the best route because it just makes sense. But we'll see how this is gonna flow. What do you think of the chapter? Share your thoughts in the comment. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.